Hey guys, so today I'm doing this makeup look inspired by a photo I saw of Kylie Jenner. She's got this really warm tone shadow on the lid with a bit of shimmer and then a really winged out black smoky liner, a neutral tone on the lips, sort of like that 90s lip color, and then really bronze skin. So if you'd like to see how this look was created, then please keep watching. So to start with, I'm just going to do my brows. I'm going to use the Dipbrow pomade in medium brown from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is it here. So it's a number 11 little eyeliner brush, and it's like a tiny little angled brush, and I'm going to use that for my brows. Her arch, it arches up sort of more in the center of the eye here rather than further out on the outer brow. So I'm just going to try and create more of a rounded effect, especially underneath. So I'm not going to go straight across like I usually do with the shape of my brow naturally. I'm just going to sort of try and keep it more rounded. We'll see how we go. It's not necessarily something that's achieved easily, changing your brows to be more like somebody else. Okay, so I'm just taking my little brush and I'm just going to do like hair strokes through my brows. And this will hopefully give us a little bit more of a natural effect. Her brows are a little shorter than mine naturally, but I'm going to have to fill mine in because I can't just leave that little hair sitting there like that. It looks so gross. So I've tried to sort of add in a bit of extra up the top here than I usually would, to create something similar to Kylie's brows. I guess it's a little bit hard just because of my bone structure, but that's the idea. So just so it's a little bit higher, more centrally here rather than like so much out here. So I'm using the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. I'm just taking it with a little flat shader brush just because my fingernails are a little bit too long to be dipping in the pot. And I'm just going to spread that all over my lid. So for me, an eyeshadow base is so important. If you haven't tried one, I think it's a good step to have actually, to try an eyeshadow base before like expanding on using any other or new eyeshadows, because it's amazing the difference, like your existing eyeshadows and the way they'll apply just with using an eyeshadow base compared to when you don't use an eyeshadow base. I know I just said eyeshadow base like 15 times. I'm just popping a little bit of that under my eye as well, just because I'm looking a little bit dark. I'm using this palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is called the Maya Mia palette, I'm pretty sure. So it's got lots of pretty colors, but I'm going to take this caramel color here. Actually, I'm just going to set my entire lid with this nude shade. I'm just taking a fluffy brush. This one's from Dior, but you can use any eyeshadow brush just to set that base and just allow the colors that we apply over the top to be blended nicely. So I'm going to take Caramel, which is this shade here, on a 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush from Zoeva. And I'm just going to blend that through the crease. We're pretty much going to be covering the entire lid, so it doesn't need to be really tidy or anything like that. So we want to use something that's really orange, pretty much. Like this is a really orange warm tone brown. Perfect for this look. I'm then going to take that same caramel shade and I'm going to apply that all over the lid using a flat shader brush. Any flat shader brush will do. And I'm just going to literally apply that over the entire lid. Just going back in with my fluffy blending brush. Make sure it's all smooth and nicely transitioning from darkest in that orange tone to pretty much just skin. So that's the idea. With that same flat shader brush, I'm going to take that caramel tone. I'm just going to sort of plot it underneath my lash line on the outer edge there. I'm taking an angle brush. This one is from Designer Makeup Tools, but any one will do. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the deep brown that's in the palette here, and just a tiny bit really. So I'm just going to follow the shape of the bottom eyelash, and as it leads upwards towards the brow, I'm just going to plot in a little bit of black shadow or dark brown. Just so that when you then look straight ahead, you can see that's the shape that the eyeshadow is going to be in. So if you sort of look to the side in a mirror, sometimes that can be a good way to do it, so you can sort of see, especially if you've got funny eyelids where it can be really difficult to work out where to plot the wing. If you do it this way, so in theory I'm actually popping the brush half on my upper lid and half on my lower lid. Like that, so that's how it's going to go. So in theory, you could actually use tape if you wanted to get a really straight line out there. but I'm not going to. I'm going to sort of do it and then I'll clean up underneath. I'm taking my Clinique Brush On Cream Liner in black, and with that I'm using a Makeup Forever 250 straight eyeliner brush. And I love this eyeliner brush because it's got sort of like quite dense, firm bristles, so you can use it like a pen, and it's strong enough to like use in that fashion. It doesn't just like splay. Is splay a word? The hairs don't just splay everywhere. Splay. I'm not sure. I think it's splay. Might have to look that up. And I'm just going to literally apply it along the base of my lashes like a normal eyeliner. As per usual, and then I'm going to sort of wing it out on this outer edge following that shape we've already put in. Like that. So any eyeliner will do for this, but I do like this one because it's a cream. I find it's quite good to work with if you want to then blend colours over the top, like it will blend out a bit. Some liquid liners don't blend at all. They're sort of just set in their place and that's it, which can be good for longevity, but not for, you know, if you want to blend it. So I'm actually going to swap to a different palette from Anastasia. This one is the Tamana palette. I'm going to take this black. You can buy any of these shadows individually from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and so that one that I'm using now is Noir. And I'm going to take a little definer brush. This is from Hakuhodo. You want to blend but not too far, so you want it to stay like right near the edge of the liner. And we're really just going to smudge this line to make it appear nice and black, but sort of diffused. So I love this black eyeshadow from Anastasia. It's just probably the blackest eyeshadow that I own. It's a lot more black than Carbon from MAC. So it's a really nice one. So that's actually a loose dust from Napoleon, which is an Australian brand. I'm firstly just going to spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus from MAC. I'm just going to pick it up and then I'm just going to press it onto my back of my hand to make sure it's sort of in the brush properly. And then I'm just going to tap it off so I don't get too much fallout, and I'm going to press it onto the sort of mobile lid above that black shade. So for my waterline, I'm just going to take this Eye of Horus eyeliner. I'm just going to run that in my eyeline. Like that. This is the oil-free eye makeup remover from Neutrogena. It's actually a really good one. So if you're looking for one that takes everything off, then I highly recommend. You actually really need a mirror for this because you want to create a really clean line on the edge of the eye there. So I sort of keep going so that it runs through, and then you can always tidy up that bit back there and sort of smudge it out a little bit. But that's how to get that really tidy, clean effect. And it looks so sharp, which is what we want. I'm just doing my top lashes with a bit of mascara. I'm just curling them first. Taking my Grandiose mascara. This is actually growing on me. Initially I didn't love it, but maybe I'm thinking it might have been a combination of some of the other things I was wearing that made it fall down on my face. I'm then just going to spray my face with a bit of Fix Plus. So good. For foundation today, I'm actually using a new one. This is the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua, and I'm using the color 40. Because it's a water-based one, you need to always give it a shake. This is a good foundation for people that don't like to wear a really heavy coverage. I'm going to probably layer it a bit today, but if you're someone that doesn't love really heavy coverage and you just want something quite natural, then this is a good one. I'm actually using a foundation brush from Gorgeous Cosmetics today. Any foundation brush will do. I'm just going to apply it. And then I'm going to go back in with my blend, my beauty blender, and sort of give it a bit of a blend. When you've already done your brows, just be careful around them. That's one of the benefits of a brush like this, because it's not really big. You can sort of get a bit of precision rather than being like blend, blend, blend and sort of blending it everywhere and getting it all over the place. So it's quite a luminous looking foundation as well. So I'm just taking my little beauty blender and just blending it all over my face. I'm just taking the Diorskin concealer in the colour 01. It's quite a brightening concealer, although I don't want it to be too light, so I'm just going to really blend it out. Just going to go in with a bit of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in the colour 08 Warm Light and just layer that over the top because it's a little bit more yellow. It's just going to allow it to blend in a little bit. And you don't need to use two concealers, just use one that you like. The Beauty Blender gives a really flawless finish, but it definitely is a little bit more work than a brush, I think. With that time spent really blending it into the rest of the face. I'm then going to take a mixture of my yellow and my white highlight powder from my contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills and just blend it underneath the eyes. While I'm doing that, I'm actually just going to mix in a little bit of this brown tone as well, just because I don't want it to be too light. So I'm taking the Studio Careblend pressed powder from MAC in the colour Dark as a way to sort of shape the face and add a little bit of colour, because we know that Kylie loves that really warm glow to the face. And this is perfect for that because it is a matte bronzer. I'm then taking Shadester by MAC, which is a sculpting powder. And I'm going to take this chisel brush from Gorgeous Cosmetics. Just going to pick it up on the side of the brush. Lots of companies do brushes like this. But I'm going to sort of pop it in my contour line like this and then blend it out. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of caramel that I used earlier, just on the same brush, and sweep a tiny bit of that underneath. So for my blush today, I'm going to take a little bit of Sincere from MAC. I'm just going to sweep that across the cheeks. Kylie definitely had more of a neutral peach tone. She definitely had colour there, but it was nothing like shimmery or anything like that. So I'm just going to apply those Demi Wispies, and then I'm going to take some individuals and pop them over the top. So I've got some double individual lashes from Ardell, and these are in the medium length. I'm going to take a couple of them and just place them on the outer edge as a bit of extra volume. And just use the back end of the tweezers to just sort of press them down. We have to do Kylie's famous or infamous lips. She has that real like heart shaped because she's got so many fillers across this top section. So I will attempt to do it a little bit just on this top area. Just taking the Nude lip pencil from Revlon. As you can see, I sort of look like my lips have been stung by a bee. But that's definitely the look she goes for. For my lash band there, I'm just going to take a little bit of the Glam Eyes Professional Liquid Liner from Rimmel. So I'm just going to give myself a little spray with Fix Plus. Just to set any of those powders down and help them to last. Because if you're Kylie and you're out all day hanging out with your friends, then you need your makeup to really last, especially with all the paparazzi and everything annoying you. You have to look glamorous at all times, and that is going to help you achieve that throughout the day. So just to sort of add a bit of hydration, because if you've got a long day and you need to be wearing this lip with just lip liner, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Clinique's Blushing Nude Lipstick, which is sort of like a really pretty brown tone. And I'm just going to literally dab a little bit. Oh, I need a mirror. Just going to dab a little bit of that. Just in like the center of the lip. You want to avoid anything glossy on that top lip where you've overdrawn, because that can really, well, it'll catch the light and show where your natural lip is. Okay, so that is the finished look, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I've actually really enjoyed making it. It's always good to do a bit of a recreation of someone else's makeup, because it really helps you to sort of try different things that you wouldn't usually do. So for me, I feel like this looks quite dramatic on me. I feel like it doesn't look as dramatic on Kylie. I think maybe because her hair is so black and her features are a little bit naturally darker than mine. But we can fake it until we make it. And so obviously I know I don't look anything like Kylie, but that doesn't mean we can't all have a go at doing her makeup look. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends if you think they would like the look, and subscribe to Show Me How Beauty to see all of our videos, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye!